they're having some problems today. Mark, it just hit the news that they are being evicted from Frogmore Cottage, where they don't live. So I'm not sure why we use the word evicted, but apparently King Charles has given the keys to the cottage to Prince Andrew, and Harry and Meghan are angry. The update was, I'm trying to get this because Omid Scobie, their personal stenographer, he purports to be a journalist, he is reporting that sources close to the couple informed him they're in shock. And at least 2 members of the royal family are appalled. He does not name who those sources are, but the Sussexes are known to be close to Princess Beatrice and Eugenie. Those are Andrew's daughters. A friend of the couple tells Omid Scobie it all feels very final and like a cruel punishment. Well, good. That's how I feel. Yeah. Good. What do you think?
Yeah, I do too. I mean, it's a lovely place. It's not really a cottage in the sense that most people who live in cottages would think of it. It's rather grander than that. I happen to love Frogmore. I love the Frogmore Mausoleum, where Queen Victoria and Prince Albert are buried in their fabulous sarcophagus. And I don't like the idea of the great Queen Empress and her consort being within range of Harry and Meghan, who have basically, they didn't burn bridges. They basically poured gas on them and set the whole town alight. Harry's book is basically, in large part, a daddy dearest book, to go back to the one that Joan Crawford's son wrote, that started this whole thing. And you can't be a little, just like you can't be a little bit pregnant, you can't be a little bit in or out of the royal family. It's a job. It's a job that's actually quite important if you think that systems of government are important. And if you think it's all about you, as opposed to, being somewhere in New Zealand and putting a medal on the Royal New Zealand whatever officer, you're wrong. And you're temperamentally unsuited for that job. The king has a responsibility to his millions and millions of subjects around the world, and that means that when you got some crazy guy opening up on you, at a certain point you have to cut the crazy guy loose.
Yeah, so true. So now, here's the irony. They did try to have it both ways, a little in, little out, want to keep the security, would love to keep the cash flowing, certainly want to keep their titles, but we want to be in the Montecito mansion, not really having to do any ribbon cutting ceremonies because those are beneath us and annoying. And we want our privacy, of course, as the South Park now has so beautifully mocked them for. We want privacy. Stop looking at us while they do their tours, their media tour, their Netflix and all that. And now on that front, Mark, Harry is going to do some sort of struggle session with the trauma expert on Saturday. You can buy tickets for $33.99. $33.99. You can watch him do his struggle session with this trauma expert. Oh, and get a copy of his book if you so care. So much for the private life for these two.
Yeah, I think if you're really interested in privacy, you don't write a book that has, I believe, 48 mentions of what in Britannic slang he calls his todger. I don't actually, I'm not sure if that's a word you can, I'm not sure if that's a word you can say in American broadcasting, but I've just done it. This is the complete lie at the heart of it. Meghan Markle, who was an actress in a rather undistinguished television series, thought that marrying into the royal family would make her an A-list celebrity. And when it didn't really make her an A-list celebrity, she got bored with what she had to do. And she decided that she and Harry would then go to Hollywood and become A-list celebrities. And they're not. They can't act, they can't dance, they can't sing. Well, what are they famous for? They're just famous because they happen to be rather minor members of a ruling family around the globe. And that's the only thing they got going for them. So they left not for, we want to be private. We can't handle it with all these photographers looking at us, but pay $33.99 and you can watch me doing a therapy session. And you never know, I might talk about my private parts for another 48 times, although you'll have to pay premium premium for that. That's only if you subscribe. $78.99. I'll talk about my private parts for another 48 times. It's the lie at the heart of this is that they wanted, most members of the royal family are private. Most Americans have never heard of the Duchess of this and the Marchioness of that and the Countess of whatever. They want to be celebrity. They want to be photographed. They want to be famous. They want to be on Netflix, but they have the disadvantage that they have no talents.
Yeah, it's a problem that we're all seeing now. And the latest polls show, one thing, and then we'll move off of Harry and Meghan, but the latest polls show, they've lost all support. They used to be holding on in America. They lost all of Great Britain. They were underwater with the approval ratings over there. But they are holding on in America until the Netflix special and the book Spare. I mean, these two, whoever they have advising them on PR, they keep blaming that person, and then replacing that person with a new person. It's not the PR people. No one can solve this for you. You two, it's you two. It's you. And so here are the latest numbers. His popularity has sunk 48 points since December. He now has a net approval rating of -10, so he's underwater. He was -7 just in January, so he's still going in the wrong direction. Her approval rating is down 40 points. He's down 48, she's down 40. Her net approval is -17. She was -13 in January, so they're both continuing to slide. And Prince Andrew is now above them. He has a net approval rating of -2. They've managed to go below Prince Andrew, who hung out with Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, I think that that actually is an accomplishment to rehabilitate His Royal Highness, the Duke of York, because Prince Andrew, I would say, is actually one of the most unlikable members of the royal family. So that's an impressive thing to do. The tragedy here is that Harry actually had a connection with people. He represented New Zealand, I think at the 70th, 75th anniversary of the Battle of Montecito in Italy. And when you saw him with all these New Zealand veterans, they loved him as one of them, as a soldier of the Queen, to other older soldiers of the Queen. And that was something real and authentic. And he has destroyed that to become this woke, whinging loser, being tarted around at Netflix and Disney events. And he will come to regret it very quickly. And the thing about it is that it's increasingly looking like there's just no way back for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is certainly not at $33 to watch him in a therapy session. No thanks. No. I'm good. I'm busy. I have a plant to water. Look, you did the tough thing during COVID. You paid your people and pulled your business through the pandemic. And now doing the tough thing could qualify you for up to $26,000 per employee at covidtaxrelief.org. Government funds are available to reward companies with 2 or more employees who stayed open during COVID. This is not a loan, and you don't have to pay it back. The program is complicated, but nobody knows more about it than the CPAs and tax experts at covidtaxrelief.org. You pay nothing up front. They do all the work, and then they share a percentage of the cash they get for you. Businesses of all types, including nonprofits and churches, can qualify, even those who took PPP loans and even those who had increases in sales. You did the tough thing for your employees during COVID. Let covidtaxrelief.org do the tough thing for you and get you up to $26,000 per employee. It would be tough for you to do. It's actually not that tough for covidtaxrelief.org. They know exactly what they're doing. And if you qualify, they're going to get this for you. covidtaxrelief.org, covidtaxrelief.org. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.